Greetings everyone. I already made this video once before, but my stupid camera was not recording, and so I'm having to do it again. This is a very simple look, doesn't take too long to put together, and it will really be a smash hit at the next vampire party you're attending. Now, unfortunately, there is a lot of negative stigma against vampires in society, as opposed to positive stigma, I suppose. A lot of people think that vampires are ridiculous, especially after Twilight, and I think this look will really help you to kind of break that stereotype and show. First of all, if you're as pale as me and, you know, European and burn the second you go outside, you'll really want to make sure that you don't have any acne, because acne really shows on vampirically pale skin. So what you'll want to do is just get some concealer, and I use whatever this pencil is by Urban Decay, too lazy to check, and just put it all over your face. I mean, don't skip anything. I mean, there's no reason, because you want to be as pale as you possibly can be. Just get that all over your face, and once you're done with that, once you put concealer everywhere, you'll want to get a foundation going. Now, I use, again, just get the palest shade you can from Urban Decay, because Urban Decay does not practice animal cruelty, and as a vampire, that is probably very important to you. So, you'll want to just, you know, liberally dip the brush in and then just, you know, put it in as many places as you can, because really, the paler you can be, the better. Now, the third step to creating that beautiful pale skin that vampires definitely do not have naturally is to find a very pale white shimmer powder to put on your face. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but if I just put a bunch of glitter on my face, I'm gonna look like a twitard. I'm not gonna look like a real vampire at all, and in fact, people are just going to think that I'm copying off of Twilight or trying to be unique by calling myself a vampire. Well, there's a very easy way to get around this. All you have to do is get as righteously indignant as humanly possible when people bring up Twilight, and make statements like, you know, this is ridiculous because I was wearing glitter long before Twilight came out. Frankly, I think that Stephenie Meyer stole from me, and it really helps if you say this before anyone even mentions Twilight. Just the second you say you're a vampire, you know, let's say you say that to someone and they go, oh, hey, whatever. Just make sure to just fly into a rage about how Twilight is terrible and you're nothing like Twilight, so fuck them for thinking that. It's the old reject them before they reject you thing, and it really works especially if you're planning on eating them anyway. You know? So, after complexion, the most important thing is lip color. And since you're already going to be consuming human beings and drinking their blood, you'll want your lips to look as red as possible ahead of time. In the vampire community, this is sort of like pre-gaming. You know, when you go to a party that's going to serve alcohol, you want to look like you're already drunk so that you don't look like a loser who's just mooching off of other people's alcohol. The same concept apparently applies in the vampire community, which is why you want your lips to look as blood red as possible. I use a simple red lip liner from NARS called Cruella, and this is a matte color, which means that it's very, I don't know how to describe that, you know. And anyway, you'll want to make sure this is as far outside of your natural lip line as possible, because that makes your lips look full and gives you that sexy Hollywood look that, you know, no one can resist. Alright, so see how even and smooth that went on for me. You'll want to try to do the same thing. Now, the next step is to take a red that doesn't match the lip line and just put as much of that on as humanly possible. And don't worry if that really doesn't look good. you can always go back with another shade of lipstick and just kind of pile that on top of that to make sure that it looks nice and red. There. You can definitely see how that looks great, and if it doesn't look good enough, just kind of, you know, you can just kind of rub it in with your finger, and then, hey, you can even use the leftover red on your finger to start doing your eyes. And yes, I have seen people do this before. I'm not freaking kidding you. Alright, but of course, that's not all we're gonna do with the eyes, so if right now you're thinking that I look like absolute crap and I look like a 15-year-old going to a Halloween party, just hold on, because you have not seen the whole look. Don't judge me, okay? Alright. Now onto the eyes, which are also a very important part of the vampire look. Now, as a pale vampire, you want to take the darkest color you can possibly find. For me, that's Oil Slick in my Urban Decay palette. And you'll notice that when you already have lipstick under your eye, or on your eyelid, the black goes on a lot more easily, and that's definitely something worth noting. And just do the same thing on the other eye, and it's okay if it doesn't look completely even. It's definitely okay, because you look great. Alright, and if anyone doesn't think you look great, you can always eat them, which is the nice thing about being a vampire. Alrighty. Now, what you'll want to do next is get out an eye pencil and just kind of, well, this one's not sharpened, and if it's not sharpened, it's probably going to be uncomfortable. So, sharpen it. Ooh. Ooh. Now the shavings are all over my bed, but that doesn't matter because as a vampire, you don't sleep anyway. And you'll want to just kind of put as much of that on as you possibly can. Again, there is no such thing as subtlety. No, you know, just really liberally apply that. And, you know, I know that this look seems a little middle school, but you can pull it off. Just make a couple of lines, and then presto. Now what you'll also want to do is make sure that you add a couple of shapes to that eyeliner that are, you know, your own and unique, because you don't want to have the same little googly doodads coming off your eyes as every other vampire at the party, or else people will think you're a loser. Now if you're like me and you're naturally blonde, but you dyed your hair black to look cool, you'll want to really work some black eyeliner into the brow. And definitely don't just feel restricted by your natural brow shape. You can always kind of, you know, do something that angles upwards so that you look a lot angrier than you actually are. You know, just kind of, you know, look how enraged I look. Doesn't that just make me look very dangerous? Now, do the same thing on the other side, and you're doing a great job. You look wonderful, and lots of people are going to compliment you on your appearance. But by now, you've probably gotten a tweet from one of your vampire friends saying, hey, I hope nobody's wearing black makeup to the party, because frankly I think that black vampire eye makeup is so 8th grade, and frankly it looks like a Halloween costume. It's tacky. Well, after you've exploded and started screaming about how no one understands you, rest assured there is a solution to that. Simply take the same brush that you were using to put on the black makeup, and don't clean it off, and just dip it in some purple, and just smear it on top of what was already there. And if you need to darken that purple later, just go back with the same black and cover it up. And that will definitely you will definitely be able to tell that you put the extra effort into putting that purple on there, and people will just throw praise at you left and right. Now the final step is to apply some mascara, because without nice dark lashes, you're just not a vampire. Now, there might be some people in the world who think that if you actually are a vampire, you don't actually need to keep up with these kinds of theatrics, and you can actually just go about your business looking like a normal human being, and even behaving like a normal human being. This is a blatant lie made by people who want to oppress your kind. Simply do not buy into it. And instead, what I would recommend is just adding a little flair to this look. I've got some black lipstick from Hot Topic, and what you'll want to do is just kind of outline your lips. And yes, I have seen people do this, and I've seen them do this in the grocery store. I'm not even talking about some kind of club. I saw someone looking like this at a fucking grocery store. I'm not kidding. Just, you know, get some black, you know, around that red, and then, you know, when that starts to smudge a little, just kind of, you know, rub your finger into it, blend it in a little, and there you go. Now, this look is great. It works for vampire parties, banquets, anti-Twilight events, you know, anything you can think of. And, oop, I almost forgot one step. You're undead. You should have circles under your eyes, but you already put so much concealer under them that no one can even see how dead you are. That's okay. Just take, you know, a little bit of purple eyeshadow, and then just apply that, you know, liberally, as I keep saying, under your eyelids, and this will make you look like you are dying of sleep deprivation, which, you know, if you're watching my video that I'm posting at like 5 o'clock in the morning, you probably are. Now, that's gorgeous, and the final touch is to take a little gray eyeshadow and just kind of put it in the areas of your cheekbones, and this will show everyone that you are frickin' exhausted from being an immortal. Which, you know, in real life, vampires may not even be immortal, but you don't need anyone to know that. So, now that you look absolutely gorgeous, you are ready to go. So, try this look out, let me know, and just see what happens, okay? Later. And one more thing to remember about this look that's very important is that if there are no words in the English language for how ridiculous you look, no one can make fun of you.